Hello and welcome to our English podcast. My name is Mia and I'm your new host. In this podcast, I'll help you learn real British English, from natural pronunciation and authentic accent to useful expressions and everyday language nuances. Together, we'll explore how English is truly spoken in the UK, step by step, in a clear and easy way. Let's begin. Now we're going to look at a text about a morning routine. First, we'll go through the text together slowly and clearly. After that, we'll focus on the most interesting and useful words and expressions for B2 level learners, explaining their meaning and how to use them in real life. Upon gently waking up to the soft, melodious sound of my alarm clock, I begin my carefully structured morning routine. A routine that I have refined and perfected over many years. Before even leaving my bed, I take a few deep breaths, allowing fresh air to fill my lungs and preparing my mind for the day ahead. First and foremost, I dedicate several minutes to meditation, focusing on calming my thoughts and setting positive intentions. This simple practice helps me maintain clarity, balance, and emotional stability throughout the day. In addition to nurturing my mental well-being, I engage in a dynamic 30-minute workout session. Although it can be physically demanding at times, I find it incredibly energizing rather than exhausting. The combination of stretching, strength training, and light cardio boosts my circulation and leaves me feeling refreshed and motivated. Once my workout is complete, I take a refreshing shower and follow it with a carefully chosen skincare routine. I apply nourishing products that hydrate my skin deeply and protect it from daily stresses, ensuring a healthy and radiant appearance. After taking care of my body, I prepare a nutritious breakfast, usually consisting of fresh fruit, whole grains, and a warm cup of tea or coffee. While eating, I often review my schedule for the day or read something inspiring, which helps me transition smoothly into a productive mindset. This enhanced morning routine may sound slightly over the top, but it serves as an excellent example of advanced vocabulary and complex grammatical structures at the C1 level. In reality, not many people in the UK speak in such an elaborate way during everyday conversations. However, it clearly demonstrates how participle clauses and descriptive language can enrich speech. For instance, we use structures such as upon waking up, allowing me to clear my mind and ensuring a healthy glow, all of which add sophistication and fluency to the narrative. Here is a brief overview of non-finite clauses. A non-finite clause is a kind of clause that does not include a subject or a verb showing tense and agreement. Simply put, it is not a complete sentence and cannot exist on its own as a full idea. Non-finite clauses typically use verbs in their base form, the infinitive or the ing form known as the present participle, without referring to a specific subject. These partial structures enrich sentences by adding extra detail and context. Compound adjectives are adjectives made by combining two or more words to describe something more clearly and precisely. They are often connected with hyphens and help express detailed qualities that one single word cannot fully show. For example, they can describe time, condition, or characteristics in a compact and natural way. Now, let's move on to how the remainder of my intensive C1 level day unfolds. From this point on, the language becomes even more sophisticated and layered. No sooner have I slipped into my comfortable yet impeccably professional outfit than I eagerly begin consuming a generous and nutritious breakfast designed to sustain my energy throughout the morning. The meal typically includes protein-rich foods, fresh fruit and whole grains, all carefully chosen to provide long-lasting fuel. With a steaming mug of herbal tea held firmly in my hands, I slowly scan through the morning news, keeping myself up to date with global affairs, economic trends, and cultural developments. This habit not only informs me, but also stimulates my mind early in the day. Meanwhile, as I make my way to work, I fully immerse myself in an audiobook, appreciating the refined language, vivid descriptions, and compelling storytelling. The narrator's voice brings the story to life, allowing me to relax while also expanding my vocabulary and comprehension skills. By the time I arrive at my workplace, I feel mentally alert, motivated, and ready to tackle the responsibilities awaiting me. The combination of physical nourishment, mental stimulation, and structured habits prepares me for a productive and focused day. Honestly, at this stage, the routine is beginning to resemble a carefully written novel rather than an ordinary morning schedule. Now, let's pause for a moment and analyse what is happening grammatically. In the opening sentence, the structure "no sooner have I slipped into my outfit than I begin eating" is used to emphasize how quickly one action follows another. This inverted form adds a formal and advanced tone to the sentence, which is commonly found in high-level English writing and speech. This structure is called negative inversion, and it is one of the most effective ways to make your English sound more advanced and expressive. Negative inversion happens when a sentence begins with a negative or limiting expression, which causes the normal word order to change. Instead of the subject coming before the verb is placed before the subject. The main purpose of this construction is to add strong emphasis and highlight how quickly or unexpectedly something happens. Rather than simply stating an action, it draws attention to its immediacy or importance. This pattern is especially useful in storytelling and formal speech, as it adds variety and sophistication. However, it should be used in moderation, since overusing it can sound unnatural. Examples: no sooner had I left the house than it started raining. Hardly had she finished speaking when everyone began to clap. Now, let's take a closer look at how the remainder of my day unfolds. Upon arriving at the office, I immediately settle into my responsibilities, focusing intensely on my work and carefully completing each task as efficiently and accurately as possible. Rather than rushing through my duties, I prioritize quality and attention to detail, ensuring that everything is done to a high standard. What truly motivates me is the awareness that my efforts contribute meaningfully to the overall success of the team. This sense of purpose drives me to constantly look for ways to improve my abilities, whether through learning new tools, refining existing skills, or taking on additional challenges. Throughout the day, I actively participate in constructive discussions with my colleagues, exchanging ideas, combining different viewpoints, and gaining insight from their diverse experiences. These collaborative conversations not only strengthen teamwork, but also broaden my understanding and encourage continuous growth. Now, let's pause for a moment and analyse the language being used here. In particular, notice the participle clause "meticulously completing my tasks," which adds extra detail about how the work is carried out without repeating the subject. The phrase "in the most efficient way possible" makes use of a post-modified superlative adjective. Although the term may sound complicated, it simply refers to an adjective structure that appears after the noun to provide extra detail or emphasis. This type of construction is designed to stress the highest degree of equality when comparing something to others of the same kind. In this case, it highlights how extremely effective the action is meant to be. Meanwhile, the form of the following sentence is slightly unusual and worth examining more closely. The sentence "it is knowing that I'm contributing in a meaningful way that I thrive on" is an example of a cleft structure. A cleft sentence is a grammatical form used to place strong emphasis on one specific part of a sentence by dividing the idea into two connected clauses. Although I previously mentioned that negative inversion was my favorite structure, cleft sentences are just as powerful and expressive. Once you become comfortable using them, they allow you to make your writing far more engaging and dynamic. The goal of a cleft sentence is to highlight important information by reshaping the original sentence so that the chosen element becomes the main focus. In this case, the emphasis falls on the idea of contributing in a meaningful way, which is why the structure was reorganized to draw attention to it. These constructions are particularly useful and effective in advanced English. As you can see, by incorporating advanced grammatical structures such as non-finite clauses, compound adjectives, negative inversion, signposting language, post-modified superlatives, and cleft sentences, even a simple daily routine can be transformed into rich, sophisticated English. These tools allow you to express ideas more clearly, add emphasis, and bring variety to your speaking and writing. While they may seem complex at first, regular practice will help them become natural and effortless over time. I encourage you to revisit today's examples, try creating your own sentences, and gradually introduce these structures into your everyday English. This is one of the most effective ways to move confidently towards a C1 level of fluency. Thank you so much for listening and learning with me today. I hope you found this lesson both helpful and inspiring. We'll meet again in the next lessons, where we'll continue exploring advanced English in a clear and practical way. Until then, keep practicing and stay motivated. Bye, and see you in the next lessons.